Hey guys, Kev here, and I want to start a new series of videos, or maybe just one video, who knows. I'm going to call this Ramblings, because you guys know I love to ramble. So this is going to be episode 1 of Ramblings, where I'm just going to fucking talk. And I'm going to talk about what I feel like talking about. I'm going to talk about shit going on. Today it's going to be about my day, because I had a very rough knife day, so to speak. I do have my apricot LaCroix. Check out the new coasters. Ooh. I got like 20 of these in. So if anybody's interested, hit me up. Could get you one. I was thinking maybe I'd sell them for like $10 like the other coasters. I got shirts coming too to match. It's going to be pretty cool. Cheers, everybody. So, today was interesting. I got a few packages. And things started off pretty well. So I got a package from Axial Gear. And they sent me a replacement for the OTF I got a couple weeks ago. You guys have seen a couple videos on that on my channel. If you haven't, go check them out. Just search Axial Gear Shift. You'll probably see my videos. When they sent me a knife, so they sent me one as part of an affiliate program to check out. And I asked for this, but what they gave me was a midnight blue one with black accents and... Is that tapping? Black accents and a S35 BN blade, which... Hang on a second. Which, what I asked them to send me, which, guys, I get it. It's a free knife for me to review. I'm being a little bit of a bitch, but hold on, I gotta be careful here. Yeah, that's tight, so it's just clicky. Hang on. Goes in pocket pretty easy. I know I'm being a little bit of a bitch, but I really hate coated blades. And that's what they gave me, was a coated blade. It was like a two-tone blade, right? And just not a fan of that. So I asked them for a replacement. They were gracious enough to send me one, so it's not a big deal. I don't know what I can do here. Just trying to bend it in a little bit. That might have worked. And they did. So I now have a black one. Hang on. Oh, is that why it wasn't? Fuck. There we go. Whatever. That is so annoying, to be honest. Really annoying. I know the weirdest things bother me, guys, but it really fucking bothers me. I might just start this video over because now I've spent 5 minutes doing this dumb shit. Come on. I need to bend it so this is down farther. So I need to bend it like right here, but I don't really have... That might have done it. Who might have done it? So I said last time like a fucking idiot. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the clacky clacks when it comes to clips, if you know what I mean. Please, God. Fuck. What did I bend? Like, what didn't I bend? Do I need to bend it here to, like, more vertical? Like, bend this down? Yeah, I can't do that. Ah. There. Got it. Okay. Sorry. You know I'm not going to edit that shit out. So, they sent me... Jesus, God. They sent me a black one with all kind of silver, gray, whatever you want to call it, accents. No clack on the clip, thank God. And this one's in 20 CV, which is awesome. But most importantly, it's a stonewash blade. That was the thing. I just don't like coated blades, and the one they sent me was a two-tone, which is even worse in my opinion. So I'm very gracious to Axial Gear for replacing it. I sent the other one back, so no issues there. And happy to report it bangs just like the other one. Now got one in 20 CV, clip point, stonewash. So it started off really nice today. That's what I was getting at. And I got that out of the mail. And I was like, sweet. All right, cool. Next thing up, I get my Gavco Nurse out, which I had sent to Michael Gavick from Gavco Knives. This is a custom knife because I kept getting issues with lock stick. And I had taken it apart, cleaned it, lubed it, swapped bearings. I'd done a lot of things, like not cosmetic or mechanical, just swapped bearings and took it apart, right? And I would just get all this lock stick. And he thought it was oil being on the lock bar, any type of oil, because it doesn't have an insert. And I don't even know if it's carbonized, to be honest. I don't know how that works. But part of the issue, I think, is that his detent balls... if you could see it there. His detent balls are extremely close to the lock bar. See it? See that little ball in there? And if you try to lube that up with KPL Heavy like I do, you're going to get oil onto the lock bar, which causes stick. So that's what we thought it was. So I had literally done a video taking it apart, cleaning it down with oil, putting it back together, and it still had lock stick. And whatever. So I ended up sending it to him, and he said he didn't even have to take it apart. He literally just cleaned it with alcohol a bunch of times, and he flicked it like 1,000,000 times, he said. I believe him. And he had no lock stick, and he sent it back to me. I get it back. It's been like, 2 weeks since I first sent it to him. I sent it to him twice already, so this is like been over a month. This is all going on. And I flick it 3 times right out of the bag. Right out of the box, I'm like, yes, got it back. Flick it, bang, 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 no stick. And then all of a sudden, 4th flick, stick. And then it just progressively gets worse to the point where I'm like, it's crunching over. And I just struggled with it. I mean, then I tried to clean it again in here with alcohol. Didn't work. I took it apart. I literally doused the whole thing in alcohol, put it together with no lube at all. And I still had so much lock stick. So I'm like emailing him again, like, dude, you're not going to believe this. And my theory is it's the humidity. The weather, he's in Florida where it's probably super humid right now. And then he sends it to Pennsylvania where normally it is pretty humid. But I guess right now maybe it's not. I don't know. I have no idea what's going on. But after hours of fiddling with it, I took it apart one last time. I was like, fuck it, I'm going to do it one more time. I put the Delrin bearings back in, cleaned it all up. I think I put tiny drop of nano oil or whatever oil I got from Orion Knives, Blade Banter. He sells it. So check that out. It's like a 20 weight oil. I put tiny drops on the bearings and nothing else. And I somehow got it to have no lock stick. Finally, right? Look at this action. I Loctited it, and I'm just going to leave it and let it sit. So this is going back in the knife case now. And I'm going to pray that it stays that way. And that's what happened last time before the lock stick started. I had it with no play. It was perfect. I carried it for 3 days, and all of a sudden on the 4th day, lock stick shows up like crazy. And that was why I sent it to him. So maybe it'll happen again. I love that knife. I love the ergos. I love the action. I love a lot about it. The looks. But the carry, but if I just can't get rid of the lock stick, it's going to have to go at some point because it's like an $800 knife, just keeps getting sent back, So that's the Nurse. So I opened that up. That was frustrating, of course, right? So then I open the Axon. This is another lefty Axon liner lock, right? So very, very grateful of Joseph Vero for doing this. He got the Jesus, Kev. He got the, what am I trying to say? It's a satin, belt satin, Jesus. He got the belt satins in, and what had happened was, since I'm just rambling, I originally got this one, which is DLC with end cut carbon fiber because that's all he had. When they first came in, all he got was DLC, and all he had was end cut and red G10. Well, what do you think I'm going to do? So I got the end cut, and I love this handle material, guys. This is actually some phenomenal handle material. I think I like it better than the micarta. It's soft, it's cool, it's just like cool in the sense of like temperature. It also looks cool, it feels good, you can oil it up, it looks sexy. Look at that on the ends there, get it end cut so it's a little different. I just don't love DLC. You know, I might really like a dark stonewash one, but I still am just a whore for satin, right? So I get this one. I'm like, I'm definitely getting another one once he gets them, right? So then he drops the other ones, and I ordered a hand satin with end cut. I get that, and my dumbass didn't think the action was as good as this one, because this one's like bananas, just right. Didn't think it was as good, so I took it apart. And it was when I was not feeling well, guys. Like, I was really struggling. And I guess when I took it apart, I cleaned one of the steel washers. And I, like, tucked it. I cleaned it by tucking it through like this. And I left it on there and put the cloth over on something, over on the side of my maintenance kit. And I never realized. So I'm putting it back together, and I just can't get it centered. I can't get it to, like, get good action. I don't know what's going on. So I ended up sending it back to him thinking something was wrong. I know, I'm an idiot. Next day, I see that rag, and I'm like, motherfucker. So I'm like, dude, I'm sorry. I'm such an idiot. Like, whatever. And Joseph is the greatest guy in the world. He's such a nice dude. He didn't care. He was like, that's fine. He's like, whatever, dude. I thought something might be weird. He messaged me. He's like, yeah, I was going to ask if you had all the washers, but I was like, nah, no way you're that dumb. I was like, yep, I am. So that was rough. So then I said, well, since you're being so gracious, maybe you could just hang on to that one and swap me for a belt satin with black micarta when they come in. And he was gracious enough to do that. So I got this in today because it took a couple of weeks for him to get the belt satins. That's what he was waiting on, right? And I unboxed this, and the first thing I noticed is this whole side right here, from like here around up, was just dark black. Like, not dark black, just dark. And everything else was like the light micarta color. You can still see it a little bit, how that's a little bit different colored than like that. So I'm guessing what happened was oil leaked out of the pivot while it was in transit and soaked this whole area. And of course, I unboxed it, and I'm like, ugh, fuck. So I'm doing an unboxing video at this point, right? I have the Axon, I have this thing coming up, and I had the coasters I was unboxing. Well, it turns out I filmed it, like, accidentally zoomed in or something and filmed the whole thing, so it's fucked anyway. And I'm glad, because I was probably going to scrap it anyway, because I was just in a rough mood from the whole nurse thing, and I was just, like, frustrated. And it came off in that video, so I'm glad it got screwed up, and I have to do kind of a redo, which is this, but I'm rambling at the same time. So anyway, that happened, and then I noticed there's some lock stick. It just kind of has had a click to it, which is already almost gone at this point. You'll notice this one is just smooth as butter. Don't hear anything, right? And there's no lock rock, no nothing. This one, you can still hear a little bit, but it was more of an audible click when I first got it. So it's already wearing it. It's going to be fine, guys. But you know me, I'm like, motherfucker, right? Not like at Joseph, just in general, by the way. This is number 35. Check it. So, of course, I shot him a video, and I was like, hey, man, like, this oil, and I got this lock stick. And then, 5 minutes later, I'm like, dude, like, the oil is probably just from the pivot, and the lock stick will wear in. Otherwise, it's fucking perfect. And I'm like, I'm that guy. I'll admit it, right? So, all good. But the action on this one, not quite as good as that one. Like, this one, like I said, literal guillotine. I'm trying to sell this one right now. I think I might have it sold. We'll see. This one doesn't quite just drop, but I'm guessing it will. I've had that one for like a couple months maybe. So it'll break in. I just like the looks of this better. Now, would I love that? I don't know, it's hard to tell, like, if I swap the hardware too with the satin, how would that look? It would look good, and it would feel good. Or how would you like this? That looks sexy too, right? So it's kind of like, I kind of want both, but, are you really going to carry two different Axons randomly? I might, but I also spent a lot of money recently, and it'd be good to recoup, a few $100, and I still have one, right? One that I really like. And I just wasn't sure the clip was going to work with the micarta. It works great on this. You get enough clearance in and out of pocket, but this does work fine. Like, it's worked great on the shorts I have on today. So I don't think it's going to be an issue like the original Axon was with clearance. I think he increased it a little bit. So, so this is probably the one I'm sticking with. So anyway, I unboxed that, and I'm a little like, with that because of the lock stick and the thing, which, again, is all fine now. And then I unboxed this. This is a $400 flashlight I got off of Urban EC Supply with my discount code. It's from a brand called La Lima Metalcraft. All right. They also sent me this one to check out. So this one's called the Hoku. It's the one I bought. This one's called the Ion, I think, and that's the one they sent me to check out. This one I got is titanium, like really cool ano, blue ano and stuff. Kind of has this beard-faced guy on it. See the two eyes and the beard. The clip with the ball in it. This copper ring around it. All titanium. Cool bezel, right? Just a really cool looking flashlight. Now, I unbox it and I'm like, okay, how's this work? I knew it was a twisty, but I'm like, okay, how does it work? So I get my, this is the flashlight I have now that I carry all the time. This is a Raylight Pineapple Mini in polished titanium. Just saw an issue there. And it has a clicker on the back, which I love. You can rotate through a couple of brightnesses. Polished tie, takes a 10-440, so it's bright as shit. Has a great deep carry clip. I love this light. $59. $400. Okay, so what you do is you put the battery in, flat top, 10-440. All right, see in there. And then you screw it on. This is literally the process, okay? And then when you get it all the way tight, it pops on. And it changes brightness every time you close it, I guess. I asked to see if there's like a way to program it so I know what brightness I'm getting. You see how there sometimes it stays that brightness? And then I can change it. I don't know, it's weird. But you literally have to tighten the battery cylinder thing to turn it on, and then loosen the battery cylinder to turn it off. And that, to me, in that video where I was already frustrated with everything, just bothered me. I was like, what in the hell? Like, why wouldn't you just turn this copper thing into a twisty, John, right? And make that do stuff? Like, why would you make it the battery thing, right? So I'm like, what if it like unscrews in my pocket because of that? Look how much you have to unscrew it. There's no way. So it's not really an issue like I thought it was. You could just turn it an eighth, turn eighth turn when you're done, and you're good. And it did not come on in my pocket or anything today. The clip is a little tight. I will say that. He told me that people tend to like them tight because they don't want to lose the light. You'll see there, I accidentally turn it on sometimes. Oh, I'm just pushing and it's doing that. That's interesting. I guess because it's on that O-ring. So I could just do this. Same thing. You can one-hand it because you take it out of pocket, twist it a little, look around, twist it back. It works, right? So I don't know. I actually am really liking it. I carried it tonight. The clip is a little tight, but you can shove it in and it's fine. He did say he would lighten it up for me a little bit. I'm guessing all I'd have to do is bend that just slightly, but I wouldn't want it to start clicking. I hate that, as you know. So we'll see. But the only thing right now that's really bothering me about it, other than what I just noticed where you can push it and turn it on, is it's not tightened all the way. Like, you have to loosen it to turn it off. I hate that. It's like having this light like this. Like, what? you can see the gap, and it's just like, I don't know, I don't get it. I wish it was a separate mechanism. That's really my only gripe at this point in the clip, which you can fix. And even when it's closed all the way and on, you can see there's still a bit of a gap. So, like, I don't know. I just think something could have been maybe done there a little better. And I'm hoping maybe I can program it somehow to have the same on every time. See there how now it's low, now it's medium. It's just like, I don't know. But I really like it. It's a great size. Again, here's the Pineapple Mini. So, like, they're very comparable in size. It's actually shorter because there's no tail switch. So it actually maybe takes up less space. I really like it. I love the looks of it. So it's growing on me really fast. So that's cool. So I got that. That's the La Lima Metalcraft Hoku. They sent me this one as well, the Ion. This one I'm not as much of a fan of, and it's essentially because of the size. Well, a couple things. So this is the Baton Pro from Olight. You'll see it's even thicker than that. And I don't know anybody who would carry this, but I guess there are people who would carry this. So there are people out there who would carry something like this. It just wouldn't be me. You know what I mean? The clip on this one is really tight as well. It was hard to get in pocket at first, but I think maybe it loosened up a little bit. It's aluminum with this stonewash finish, which that wouldn't be for me, but you can get different finishes, right? Like, I really like how this one looks with the polished titanium and ano. So if you got something like that for this, you know, great. This is also an expensive light, $400 and then up, right? This one does have a tail switch, which is cool. And it rotates through these different modes, which has different colors and different brightnesses. So it also has a ton of programmability from what I understand. There's a card that came with it that had all this stuff on it. That one didn't have a card. So I'm guessing that one you can't program. It just has those 3 or 4 brightnesses, and you kind of, you know, just keep turning it on and off to get there. That's what I understand. As of right now, it's not a review or anything. This one has a lot more capability to it. So if that's what you're into, I will say the coolest thing is these are American-made products. They're made by 2 guys, you know, in their shop. They do really good finish work. I will say that. It seems like they have the techie stuff that people like, the programmability and all that. And if you're looking for a really cool EDC flashlight, like, that was something I wanted to get into. And that's why when I saw this, I was like, yeah, I should give it a shot. And I'm glad I did, because it is really cool. And I do want to kind of check out some higher end flashlights, because I've done that with knives and I feel like it's paid off. You really get what you pay for with knives in a lot of cases. Obviously, there's exceptions to everything. And I was trying to see how that works when it comes to flashlights, because I'm not into all the programmability stuff. So, like, for me, it would just be like a really nicely finished flashlight that has some function like this, where I can just click through, you know, 3 or 4 brightnesses and be done with it. And this basically does that. You just don't click, you turn, you know? So I can't really complain about that as much as I want to, because of that gap and the fact that you have to do that. It's just something to get used to, and we'll see as I go through the review process if, you know, it turns on me, or loosens up and falls out, or whatever. We'll see what happens, but I don't think it will. That O-ring's pretty good, and they've had these for a while. So anyway, that's the flashlights. I wanted to talk about that. And then, trying to think. This knife, I kind of already did a couple of videos on this, so I don't want to talk too much. I am loving this knife, guys. This is the Oz Machine Company Roosevelt I traded for. I'm basically $1,100 into this, and I don't care. It is an absolute dream to carry. The clip is so good. It just pops in your back pocket, pops out. That's where I carry it. It's not the best lefty knife. There's plenty of times where I go to flick it and my finger kind of like slides up on this. I've never failed it like that, but it slides up on here and I can't get it out because I'm on the lock bar. But majority of the time it comes right out, and I forgive all that because of its greatness. And it's just so sexy at the same time. It's so lightweight. It's sexy. I don't have to worry about rusting the steel. That's a big benefit for me on this one in the back pocket. So I'm really enjoying the Oz Roosevelt. I think I talked about the coasters if you want one. One for 10, two for, I don't know, 17, we'll say. Okay. Then I was talking to my buddy Casey, Knives Fast. Big shout out to Knives Fast, guys. Go check out his channel. And he basically was messaging me, and I hope he doesn't mind me talking about this. He was like, hey, man, you know, I have so-and-so to spend. You know, anything you think I should get or, like, what's out there or whatever, right? And I was telling him, like, well, some options are the carbon fiber Grand is coming out. The Malibu, if you can get one. And, dude, if you could ever just find a way to get an EDC, a field duty EDC, you should do it, right? And that's around that, you know, price point. He said like $300 or something. Sorry. And so at first he was looking for like a mini buster from Wii, which maybe he got one of those, but he was trying to find one. They were out of stock, and I'm like, man, it's a great knife. It's very smooth. Mine didn't drop shut, but like, it's a Wii. You know, they're hit or miss, and like, dude, you gotta try some other stuff. Like, I get it. I feel like people get stuck on Civivi Wii. I feel like that's just a place people get stuck, and then they keep buying Wiis, and it's like, no, stop. Jump ahead a little bit and get into Riot. Like, get into some other stuff. American-made stuff. Like, just maybe don't buy two Wiis and buy one, you know, not good, but one something else. I don't want to say Wii's not good. I like Wii's, but I just want people to experience different stuff, right? Better stuff. And so there was the Mini Buster, and then I was like, oh, what about a Malibu? And he's like, yeah, but where can I get one? And I was like, oh, maybe Jake has one, Peter Gear, because he has a, you know, he's keeps buying fancy ones and shit. And he was like, meh, you know, I might sell one, but no, you know what? I really love them. I don't want to sell them. And I was like, okay, fair enough. He didn't want to get the Grand because it's Italian made and he has a GM2 and it's very similar. So he didn't want to do that. Fair enough as well. I just thought he would really love the Grand, knowing Casey, even though I know I wouldn't like, I don't like it being Italian, even though I had one and I liked it for a while. And it was basically the knife that made me realize I don't like Italian knives. So then I said, dude, the Field Duty EDC. Like, if you could find one, because Stevie _woman_man, Wonder Woman, Jesus, Kev. Stevie Wonder Woman, he's a great viewer and a dude on Instagram. Awesome guy. He's coming on the live stream tomorrow, my time. You know, my tomorrow. I don't know when this is supposed. I was like, he got one yesterday for $200 on Arizona Custom Knives, man. Like, if you could find one like that, holy shit. So Casey finds one at Knife Center for $308 with G10. And he's like, oh, it's G10. I'm like, no, dude. They, like, the G10 ones are awesome too, man. They finished that G10 really well. Dude, you should get one. Like, I'm telling you, you will just understand, like, how great Liang Ma's are, how great Riyadh is if you get a Liang Ma Field Duty EDC. Like, I just think it would open his mind a little bit compared to other stuff that he, you know, Wii's and all that stuff. Not saying Casey hasn't handled nice knives. He has. I'm just, you know, whatever. The Field Duty's awesome. So that's where I'm at right now, trying to convince his ass to buy one of these. So hopefully he did it while I'm doing this video. Let me think. Is there anything else I want to talk about? I don't think so. I think I've kind of nailed everything. I have a couple things coming. You know, I have the Monterey Bay Pincher. I hopefully have a Sea Otter Loner coming from Monterey Bay Knives that they sent me to check out. I know Sanford was thinking about sending me his personal one. I would love to check that out. I can't think of anything else, like, off the top of my head I have on the way. I have a ton of pre-orders, guys. It's nuts. I need to stop that. So anyway, I have reviews coming up on some stuff. The MBK Turbo. I have the Wii Thug, the Penguin from QSP and Titanium, the Saxi from Wii, Devil's Finger, Yojimbo too. I got a lot of stuff actually, so stay tuned for all that. This is the first episode of Rambling, we'll call it. Maybe we'll just call it Rambling with Lefty or some stupid shit like that. Let me know what you guys think. Is this interesting to you? Is this a series you'd want me to keep up? I don't know. It wouldn't be any regularity, probably. It would just be when I feel like rambling about a bunch of shit. But it's fun. It's nice to get this stuff out. Just talk about, how I feel about stuff. I'm really digging the Lefty knives right now, if you can't tell. This is the only OTF in my collection right now, just because the others don't stick around. I don't carry them, and then, they just sit there looking like dollar signs, and I'm like, I might as well sell them, right? But this price point, $200, $220 with 20 CV, plus you can use my discount code. It's in my Axial video, first impressions video. I think it's in every video now, actually. Just look in the description. But that price point for an OTF as good in quality as a Microtech is just silly not to do. Like, why wouldn't you do that? They do have Lefty clips. If you're left-handed, they will be coming. They just were out of stock, so they're having more made. Mid-October, they're supposed to be in. The finish on these is absolutely fantastic. Yeah, these are cool, guys. So this is my only OTF. Yeah, that's it, guys. I'm going to shut up. I love you all. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day. Hey, check out the coasters if you want one. Hit up my Patreon if you want to join. I really would appreciate that. I don't promote that enough, but you know what? Join the Patreon. I would really appreciate it. Put a lot of time and effort into this stuff, and getting a little back feels nice. And a lot of it, most of it, all of it goes back into the channel. If you think about it, my shipping costs are astronomical. I've spent like $3,000 on shipping this year already. So anything I get from Patreon is never going to cover that. So, yeah. Anyway, I'd appreciate it if you want to join up. I try to do giveaways in there whenever I can. And I love everybody who contributes to the channel. Anybody who leaves comments, just watches. If you watch the channel but you're not subscribed, think about it. I'd really appreciate getting that sub. I don't say that stuff enough either, but you know what? I do care a little bit. I do want that sub. Again, put a lot of work into it. Be nice to get some reward on it, but that's it, guys. I love you so much. I really do. It's such a blast. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day, and I will catch you later.